Hi, I'm Jeanne Trojan. This is completely unexpected, but it's nice to see you. I don't want to talk about business fail or IT fail, obviously. I want to talk about the first failure I ever had in my life. I was born in Vancouver, Washington, which is a suburb of Portland, Oregon, so I had a very comfortable childhood. My parents had plenty of money, and I pretty much got everything that I wanted. I don't mean materially, but whatever I wanted to do, I got it. So I wanted to be the best student in the school. I was the best student in the school. I worked really hard. I played the flute. I wanted to be the best flute player, so I practiced a lot, and I became the best flute player. I wanted to be the president of our elementary school, so when I was 12, I was the president of our elementary school. And now you have to understand the system in the US is you have elementary school, then you have junior high for 3 years, and then you have high school. Now junior high is pretty much you're teenagers, but you're young teenagers, so it's kind of the same thing, and there's not a lot of pressure socially. And I wanted to be a cheerleader in junior high. So what you had to do to be a cheerleader was you had to perform some kind of routine in front of the teachers, the PE teachers, and some other people. They were all adults, and they all rated you on merit. If you were really, really good, you became the cheerleader. So I practiced really, really hard on my jumps and all of this, and I got up in front of these teachers and did my routine, and I got it. I was a cheerleader. For 3 years, I was a football cheerleader and a wrestling cheerleader, if you can imagine. They were called mat maids. And then after junior high, you get high school. And high school is a completely different thing. All of a sudden, you're 16, 17, 18 years old, and there are all of these groups. The social pressure is amazing in high school. You have to find your own way, and you have the really smart kids, you've got the jocks, you've got the geeks, the IT guys. You're all put in these little groups. Now there's a cheerleader group, and I really wanted to be a cheerleader in high school. I mean, that's like the best thing a girl could have in the 1980s. So I practiced really hard, and I thought, okay, well, I was a cheerleader for 3 years. I should be able to do this. But there's a little difference between junior high and high school. The people who are deciding who the cheerleaders are not the teachers or the PE teachers, it's the kids. So you have to understand, when I was 16 years old, I was a really slow grower. I was really short, I was really skinny, and I had no breasts. Now, to be a cheerleader, that's kind of a requirement. You have to look like a woman. And I was there, I was really good. I could jump really high and I could yell really loudly, but I didn't kind of look like a woman at all. So there I'm in front of probably the same amount of people. If you can imagine, 16 years old, girl, first time doing this stuff, and I get up in front, and the way that they voted for you was clapping. So if you got really a lot of applause, you became the cheerleader. So I get up in front, and I'm still kind of confident. I'd gotten everything I ever wanted. So I thought, well, I can do this. So I do my routine, yeah, at the end you jump and all of this, and I think 2 people clapped for me. And I'm standing there, and I couldn't believe it. This is the first time that I didn't get what I wanted. And I went home, and I had to admit it to my mother. I had to say I didn't get it. But then I realized later, after I stopped crying, I realized that this was a really good lesson for me, because it taught me that you can't get everything that you want, Jeanne. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. And the second lesson, I think, was even more important for me. The playing field is not always even. You can be the best at whatever there is, but there is unfairness involved. It is going to happen at some time. And I think that made me much stronger. Thanks.